Michael,
Hey, Ricky. Ricky!
how's it going?
It's going okay. I'm really concerned. I know tonight we're going to talk about the DC shakeup. And,
Yeah, yeah.
right now, if you're a DC superhero, you got to think about your future because right now, with the merger with Discovery and, Warner Brothers, there's a lot of upheaval going on. And so I'm a little concerned about our favorite, superheroes out there that we
Like
love
Green
so
Lantern?
much, like Green Lantern, like the Flash, like
Yeah,
even Superman. There's so much going on right now. So
there is.
right now, and right now, the superheroes, they're really struggling right now. There's a lot that's happening, and they're having kind of do some stuff on the side. The Flash
Okay.
right now has to do on the side is doing some delivery with the Flash Pizza. Right now, you know, being a superhero is
Oh my gosh.
kind of slim right now. But right now I know that Aquaman has a partnership now with Bubba Gump Industries, so we're so that
Nice.
might be a nice merger
Nice.
there. Superman, he's
I
kind
can
of in
see
a
that.
Superman, he's in his own situation right now. Right now after getting kicked out of the Justice League, he's starting an Uber service in space.
Okay.
And for Wonder Woman,
Spoober.
which Wonder Woman right now is having her own. Really, I think she's the one that's endangered the most, which I'm really concerned about. But Wonder Woman is having to go to telemarketing right now.
She also reverted to Linda Evans.
Exactly. That's how bad things are getting for the DC universe.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty bad
That is
when
pretty bad.
pretty bad when you have to revert to an older actor. And our favorite Batman right now, he's dealing with he had to deal with the Repo Man. The Batmobile is apparently in repo right now, so he's waiting for the
Nice.
bus. So yeah, our love to the DC universe.
Oh my goodness. I think we should start the show.
Yeah, I think we start the show.
It's the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Pope.
You missed a joke there.
I did miss a joke, yeah.
The Flash should have been doing DoorDash.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I was stealing other people's memes, so I
Okay.
didn't have a
They
whole
were
lot of work.
already made.
Yeah, except for this one, I just I couldn't find anything for Aquaman, so I just
I
threw him
like
in
that
with,
one.
Yeah, I threw
That's
him.
probably my favorite one.
I think so. I think so. Bubba Gump.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot. Before we get into the show, the main topic of the show, which is DC, Peter Gunn,
Yes.
Saffron Rice, the rest of those crew. There is some nerdy news. The nerdy news, basically, we don't do a whole lot of coverage on the gaming industry, but this past week was the gaming
Oh,
awards, yes, and
Yes.
so there's
Oh
been
my
a lot.
gosh.
That's right. Number one, the guy who plays Judge Christopher Judge wins Best Performance at the Game Awards. He played Kratos in the
Cool.
God of War Ragnarok. Of course, this is we all know him as Tilt from SG1.
Yes.
Number one is Elden Ring wins Game of the Year, which for you
Yes.
gamers out there, you know that you probably know a lot of people who destroyed their controllers over this game. So, and next for Star Wars fan, yes, Star Wars Jedi Survivor arrives March 17th, 2023. They did their release trailer. And
Looks good.
It looks really good. And also, Bad Batch comes back to Disney Plus on January the 4th. And that should also be something we all look forward to. And also, this is also the big thing is Microsoft, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, sues to block Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition.
Acquisition.
I guess it's an
Really?
accusation. Well,
I hadn't heard about this.
I thought that was a done deal, but apparently
I thought it was too.
So I'm not going. But PlayStation is complaining about, for instance, Call of Duty, which is one of the biggest games out there. Microsoft now deals with Sony. If you want Call of Duty, this is our contract agreement. Nothing different than before. Sony is just dealing with now Microsoft, who owns the rights to Call of Duty now, Activision, of course. So Sony is not happy about that, but Microsoft is saying, we're not keeping it away from you. Microsoft, Phil Spencer says that, we're not doing anything really to compete with Sony. Most of our products that comes out for the Xbox also comes out for the PC. And so we offer those two avenues of platforms, which is funny because that platform happens to be Microsoft. But true. So both companies are taking different approaches. So anyway, now they have the Federal Trade Commission in the middle of it, so that should be interesting. And
That is fascinating. Now,
So-
you mentioned the gaming awards, but you didn't mention the microphone debacle.
No, I did not.
Did you not want to go there?
No, go ahead. You go right ahead.
A young, exuberant young gamer,
Yes.
who apparently is 15, ran up on stage and wanted to nominate the secret Rabbi Bill Clinton for an award. Just kind of one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. And it made no sense. But, okay.
Okay, well, it takes all kind, and I guess the Gaming's Awards are where some of these people show up to. So
Yes, they are.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I think we should get into some stupid news.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
I think that would be very appropriate.
Well, that's nice.
It's the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
It's almost good.
What are you doing?
Oh, I thought the intro was still going. Sorry.
No, it's over. Intro's over. And we don't edit this show, so I can't edit that out.
I think that was in my ear. Well, last week we talked about Florida. We were kind of,
Yes.
we didn't. What would you say we didn't? Florida, we weren't showing them in the best light.
Yeah, we don't always show Florida in the best light since most of the stupid news comes from Florida.
Well, I thought I would go ahead and just give them a break. Let's go to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well, there's the other half of stupid
There
news.
that. Well, the Tulsa Police Department arrested a man Saturday night after a family game of Monopoly turned violent.
Oh my.
That's right.
I mean, Monopoly is a contentious game,
It can
but
be.
violent?
Apparently, that's right. Officers were called to a shots fired just before 6:30 p.m. that evening. Caller identified the suspect, saying that he chased her down and fired a shot at her and her father.
Oh my gosh.
When police arrived, they immediately took the suspect into custody. Investigators learned that the family had been drinking alcohol.
Oh,
and playing
imagine that.
Drinking
Imagine that.
alcohol and playing Monopoly when a fight broke out between the suspect and his stepfather.
So Monopoly quickly became Clue.
Basically. Exactly. Became Clue. Yes. Yes, investigators, and yes, after knocking over the game board and turning over the furniture, they were told to take the fight outside. The suspects. The suspect pulled out a gun after getting cut in the head and chased his stepfather and stepsister down the street, pointing the gun at them. He told the police fired one shot at the ground. Officers did not find the gun, saying that they believe the suspects hid it in the house before surrendering. The suspect was arrested and booked into the Tulsa County Jail for assault with a deadly weapon. So, in other words, the suspects will go directly to jail, do not pass go, and he will not collect $200.
Oh,
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That's a good one.
Ricky, I have a question for you. And seriously, do you ever think when you're around the city or you're, I don't know, in a hotel, you ever think to yourself, man, I really would like for my friends to know where I go defecate?
No.
Or do you ever...
That has never crossed my mind that they should know.
No?
I mean, I would think they assume it's in my own bathroom, but...
I mean, well, sometimes, you travel and sometimes some people are probably interested in knowing where their friends or let their friends know where they like to go pop a squat.
Okay.
That's right. There's a whole new app called the Poop Map app. That's right. The Poop Map app you can get in your iTunes or Android store. That's right.
Gosh.
That's right. The Poop Map. Use the map to track where you've pooped and where your friends have pooped and where other people pooped. That's right. The whole process. The Poop Map allows you to keep track of all the places where you have defecated. The whole process is quick enough with the touch of a button. You need to drop a poop. Well, that's right. There's a drop a poop button there, my friends. That's right. You can also put where you pooped at. You can also give it a rating how your poop went. You can even comment on the poop information. That's right. That's right. You can also sync your device and able to push notifications as well. You can
I don't want push notifications about that.
You can create a profile to see interesting statistics and to make sure you never lose your data. That's right. Follow your friends and see where they latest. Follow your friends and see their latest drops in the feed. Likes
now, I do have one question. And this is a callback to like 3 or 4 years ago. So, does this app connect to my Bluetooth toilet?
Oh, I bet it can.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
that's right.
Gosh.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't think about that. Also, you can make you have leagues. Look at that. You also have leagues that compete.
Leagues?
Yeah, compete in leagues privately with your friends. Or publicly. Oh, it hurts so bad.
The team names must be amazing.
Oh my! I can't. Oh, okay.
Gosh. Leagues. Oh my gosh.
And compare your poops with other users in the league and get to the top of the leaderboard. To the leaderboard, yes. Oh my goodness.
That hurts a lot.
And for those who update your subscription to your profile, all poop statistics will be available in the corresponding sections. And so, hey, the Poop League.
That's a league. That's a league of your own.
That's right. That is. I think and that's stupid news.
This has been the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
I don't. Oh man.
That bit was full of it.
Oh, that was full of it. So now, but
Let's get into the meat of the show.
Yes. What are we talking about again? Oh, that's right. The poop app. Yes, sirree. The poop app allows you to. Oh, that's we did that already. Let me make that go away.
We already did the poop app.
Already did? Okay.
I think we should talk about the DCU.
The DCU. There's a whole lot going on.
Might be the poop app too.
It might be the poop app also. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's, I feel, right now there's a lot of weirdness. What just happened?
Yes.
I just, shaking up. Yeah. This whole podcast is like a well-oiled machine. It's just chug-a-lug-a-lugging just fine. Wow.
What is in that cup?
I don't know. It's it's better than I had before, but I really can't tell you unless we have a sponsor. But I know after I drink it, I feel like a monster. So anyhow, yeah, so DC has a massive shakeup going on. And of course, this goes back to the whole Discovery Warner Brothers merge.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, to me, I'm after reading all the reports, because Peter Gunn, when we first heard that Peter Gunn was going to oversee DC,
yes.
We talked in the beginning, and both of us didn't think it was actually. We thought it was just going to be the television entertainment side of it.
Well, yeah, the movies.
Well, yeah. Is that what we thought?
The live action. I thought it would be only live action.
Okay.
But it's going to be live action and animation and video games as well.
That's right. So, yeah, they want continuity on all of it. They want it to be canon. Now, we talked about this last week, how James Gunn said his inspiration was not Marvel, but it was Star Wars.
Yes.
So it sounds like to me he wants the universe. And then we talked about before how Marvel, you made a good point, Marvel does this build up, the story arc with all their, like you said, what we were saying. I liked how you put it last time.
Yeah. Everything seems to, on the Marvel side, everything seems to build on itself. And if you miss one little thing, you really, it's really hard to catch up. But with Star Wars, a lot of the content could almost stand on its own.
Yeah.
There might be continuity threads, but, let's just say they put out a new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
If you don't watch The Bad Batch and you don't watch The Mandalorian and you don't watch The Book of Boba Fett, it probably will have no bearing on the next 3 movies.
Probably no.
If you miss, let's say, the upcoming Vision Quest, the new Vision led show. If you miss Vision Quest, there may be big holes in what's going to happen in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's, I wonder if that's part of what he means when he says that.
Could be. Yeah, I think you can have, exactly, I think you can have films contained within themselves, but they're still in that universe. And if they decide to cross them over, they can. If they want to make a nod of it, they can, in relationship of what's happening all over the universe.
But it's not going to be detrimental to your enjoyment of the next thing if you missed something. And I think that is something that Marvel has done pretty hardcore.
Well, I know right now, a Hollywood Reporter, they busted a lot of news. They're really stirring up the pot. Of course, by the time this airs, we might find out more information because I know that they were talking about Gunn and Safran was going to just be more forthcoming of what's going to happen in their blueprint next week. So we'll see then. But right now, a lot of it's speculations, but a lot of it is also coming from Hollywood's reporters, a lot of their information from insiders. And the
Yes.
Hollywood Reporter is pretty legit. So
Oh yeah, very reputable.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever read anything on the Hollywood Reporter that they have had to fully retract.
exactly.
Saying that they reported this because a leaker said it. Usually, if they aren't sure, they're pretty clear in the article
Yeah.
that this is what we've heard, but we're not sure yet. But
yeah.
when they say something and they're like, "Yeah, this is what's happening," it's been pretty reputable.
Well, a lot of things that happen. I think, like number one, recently we had Dwayne Johnson in the Black Adam.
Yes,
I hadn't watched it, so I'm not going to comment anything about it. So I haven't personally.
I've
watched
heard
it
good
myself.
things, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen it either.
But unfortunately, it seems like from the reports is that DC is not very happy because apparently it didn't generate enough money. Apparently,
That's what I'm reading. It hasn't even hit 400 million,
yeah.
and probably at that point it's actually going to lose money.
Yeah, they're hoping to even break even. That's what they're
Yeah.
hoping to do, which that's not good. I mean, and of course, with this, and this is the other thing, because I'm a big fan of Henry Cavill. I
Yes.
think he made a great Superman.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I was excited when he tweeted saying that, he's excited about being Superman and he wants to be in the films again. So I'm thinking to
Yes.
myself, okay, DC, even with all this going on, they're going to bring Henry Cavill back.
Yes.
And of course, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the Black Adam, we know that, he shows up in a cameo at the very end,
Yes.
which is exciting. I'll watch it just for that. Of course,
Well,
too,
'cause there was
yeah.
kind of a Superman cameo in the first Shazam movie, but we never see his face. So, Henry Cavill wasn't actually on set. But in this
So,
one, we
yeah.
actually have Henry Cavill. Even though, from what I've read, they were shot separately. They actually weren't in the same spot at the same time. But at least Henry Cavill was actually
Yeah.
on set.
So the issue is, okay. Now the issue is that Cavill left The Witcher, which was a big box office on Netflix,
Yes.
to come into DC to be Superman.
Well, that's the assumption. He definitely left The Witcher.
yes,
Shortly thereafter, he announced he basically posted that he's definitely coming back to do more Superman.
yeah,
So the assumption is that he had some kind of agreement with Warner Brothers.
yeah.
But now, with all this big shakeup, some question marks.
Well, and that's the problem right now. It seems like from what we're seeing that DC and even Peter Gunn, they're looking at wanting to just reboot everything and just totally do away with the Zack Snyder canon.
Yes.
Because unfortunately,
it sounds like that maybe.
now, the big rumor too is that they will not have, and I'm from my understanding, that they've put a halt on Wonder Woman 3.
Okay, so let's examine this a little bit.
Yeah, let's do this.
Because I've read all the articles. I've read several articles on this.
I have to, yeah.
And here is what has been said explicitly. And then the next thing I'm going to say is it depends on how you understand what was said.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number one, Gunn and Saffron are not presenting until next week.
Exactly.
They're presenting and this was from like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
They were going to present a 10-year plan for DC. And so the assumption is next week they are presenting the 10-year plan
Yeah.
to the head of Warner Brothers. That's the plan. That's
Yeah.
the expectation. Patty Jenkins presented her script, her I don't know if it's a full script, but her plans for Wonder Woman 3, which has been was written by her and I think it was Jeff Johns.
Okay,
I think it was Jeff Johns was the other writer. And she was told that that wasn't going to fit in with the future plans for the DCU.
Gotcha.
So that's what was said.
Yeah.
So here's what's unclear. Is it that her story doesn't fit?
Yeah.
Or that Wonder Woman doesn't fit? Or that Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins don't fit?
Well,
those are three distinctly different things.
It is. And what's odd about that, after that information came out, Gadot tweeted, she said, just out of the blue, she actually tweeted, and it was almost like, it almost sounded like maybe she knew something. I don't know. She said in the tweet, it says she was grateful to be allowed to play a heroine, and a role model, adding that she said she can't wait to share the next chapter with you. It was unclear whether or not the actress knew the project was being canned. Now, again, though,
and that's what I've read that several times, that the project has been canned, but
what does that mean?
The quotes never say there won't be a Wonder Woman 3.
Or
it never says that Gal Gadot won't continue being Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, I don't know. I pronounce it Gal Gadot. I pronounce it like a French person.
I pronounce it like a hillbilly, but go ahead.
I've heard it from reputable people both ways. So it doesn't say whether she'll continue. It doesn't say she will or won't continue being Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It just says, the explicit statement is that this treatment doesn't fit into the plans.
Well, let's break down what Gunn responded. Okay, he responded to on the Hollywood Reporter, and maybe we need to before. Okay,
I'm not sure I've seen this.
Before I do that, let's talk about maybe some of the other stuff, and then maybe we can kind of end it with that, or not end it with that, but kind of see what he's talking about, what his because his is kind of the same way. You can read it in different ways.
You could interpret it different ways.
Yeah. Now Dwayne Johnson. Let's go back to Cavell. Mm-hmm. Johnson and Cavell are managed by the same person.
I saw that.
Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia is a producing partner with him. Mm-hmm. Now we know during this whole thing, Johnson wanted to make this. He wanted to bring back the DC, and he wanted to be the lead horseman in this.
Yes.
And Black Adam and Superman coming against each other would be would be a fight in biblical proportions. Okay, just so.
Yes. And Johnson wants to see that.
Yeah. So how much of this was Johnson saying, "I want Cavell to come back. I want him to be back so we can have this epic battle." Mm-hmm. But now that the money is not hitting the box office. I mean, you see, there's many different things. Does this affect Cavell's future because this was, quote unquote, a Dwayne Johnson production? Whatever you want to call it, arrangement. Because they're saying that again, and this is Hollywood Reporter talking to insiders, which can change again next week.
Yes.
We're just having fun with the speculations and the information that's kind of trickling out.
Trying to interpret what was actually said.
Exactly. So this is where some of the doubt that they're having about the Man of Steel 2. Well, they may not do the Man of Steel 2. They may continue Superman, but it may be a different direction. See, there's so many things going on because The Flash is still coming out, and apparently
Yeah, we're definitely
Aquaman.
Flash is definitely happening. Aquaman's definitely happening. I don't see them just canning those movies.
Yeah.
I don't see them just putting them directly onto HBO Max.
No, I don't
think
see
there's
that
too
either.
much money in there for them to just do that.
Now-
They've also got the Blue Beetle. That's basically
Yeah.
complete, as I understand it.
From my understanding, yeah.
And isn't there one more?
I think so. There is.
It's the next Flash or the next Shazam movie.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly. I think it may have already been. May have already been shot.
Could be.
I mean, I see those 4 movies happening
I do too.
before Gunn's vision takes place.
But see, a lot of these, if they are trying to do a full-on closure of the Zack Snyderverse, you've got 3 movies that are actually that attached is part of that universe.
Yes.
Unless somehow they curtail it where it's not. I mean, they somehow they do some. The example is the Flash.
The Flash could change everything.
Yeah, the Flash. They will be a cameo of Aquaman and Superman. Henry Cavill already did the cameo. Now
And multiple Batmans?
yes. Now, if they want to do away with it, but there is rumors of discussion whether they're going to cut those cameos out or not between Superman, Henry
Oh my
Cavill, and and this is from the Insider Report. So, I mean, right now, I mean this. If Hollywood Insider is correct, then there's a lot. We're not going to see much of Jack Snyder's work anymore. His legacy will definitely be cut off from there.
So Jason Momoa as Aquaman, there are rumors floating around now that I may be getting ahead of myself in our discussion, but some people are saying they're considering maybe a Lobo movie.
Yes, I read that.
And bringing Momoa in as Lobo.
Yes, because this will be I think this going to be will it be the final Aquaman that he plays. He's not playing. He's from what I've read. This is the last one that he'll be playing in, and so I read the same thing. Lobos coming back playing that character, which I think is odd, interesting.
It's odd, but he is probably. I mean, build wise, it's not a bad option.
So, see, let's kind of. I'm going to kind of go. This is what James Gunn said. Okay, he responded to Hollywood Reporter, and it's kind of long, but I'm going to read it verbatim. He says, so as for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it's true. Some of it is half true, and some of it's not true. And some of it, we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Although the first month at DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of story takes time, and we're just still beginning. Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios knowing we were coming into a fractious environment, both in stories being told and in the audience itself, and there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across film, TV, animation, and gaming. But in the end, the drawbacks of the transitional period will dwarf and be the creative responsibility and opportunity to build upon what has worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not. We know we are not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can promise everything we do is done with the service of the story and the service of the DC characters we know you cherish and we have cherished our whole lives. It says, as for more answers about the future of DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We are giving these characters and stories time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have many, many more questions to ask and answer. So,
Well, that's a lot.
that's a lot. Basically, it comes back to is that, yeah, the reporter got some things right, halfway right, and some of it's not right.
And he isn't going to say which is which.
No. Now, I know that they talked about, I don't know where I read it, but they were supposed to announce the blueprint to I guess, the head guy from Warner Brothers Discovery next week. So, or will be this week, actually.
Yeah, I guess it will be this week when this is actually released.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what day it is that they're supposed to be presenting. I think. See, I can see there's so many things there that.
Yeah.
They could be right.
Yeah, yeah.
And still not be fully maybe right and misunderstood. You know, we could easily keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. You could theoretically keep Momoa as Aquaman, though I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You could keep Cavill as Superman. And you could still reboot everything from scratch.
Yeah.
You know, same actors, new stories.
Yeah.
New world.
Yeah.
New Earth. You know, Earth 2, Earth 3, whatever Earth you want it. Earth 771 with the same people in place.
Have you ever seen anything like that before? I mean, because every reboot I know of, I can't ever.
Yeah, I mean, you know, other than like the comics.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, the comic books do this on a regular basis, like the New 52.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman still basically looks exactly like Superman, except we don't have an actor. We have somebody drawing the comics.
Well, and that's the thing. But we actually have. I mean, we could do some. It would be fun to be doing a little predictions or what we think. I mean, it would be completely wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
well, and I've had questions about what does the future look like with movies like the new Joker movie and the expected The Batman 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how are those going to be continuity clean with whatever they have up their sleeves? You know, it's just it's an interesting idea, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how James Gunn is going to pull it off and still have these other movies that haven't been canceled as far as we know. I mean, the only thing we know for sure right now is that Wonder Woman 3 as written isn't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Not as at the state. And from my understanding,
as it is written.
Yeah. And I've heard Patty Jenkins, apparently things did not end well between her and some of the I guess some of the producers or some of the, let's just say the decision makers in this, as far as the script goes. She did kind of one of those mic drops, from my understanding. But
if you don't like my setting, I'm out kind of thing. I could see that. I mean, I could see her doing that. Will Gal Gadot join her?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, if we think about it in that universe, I thought Wonder Woman was one of the best. The
Oh,
first
absolutely.
one, I thought it was one of the best. I think she's an excellent Wonder Woman. I think it'd be a shame to lose her.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have the right actors for each of these parts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we were talking about some of the other movies that are coming out. Okay, Matt Reeves. We talked about the Batman. So far, it's still supposed to open up March 4th. That's from my understanding. Matt Reeves is also supposed to oversee the launch of 2 Batman series spinoffs of the movies, including the Penguin.
So how does that fit into this new continuity?
Because
It
if he
doesn't
want,
fit into the old one at all.
no, it doesn't. It's something totally different. And if he wants something if he talks about that he wants continuity like Star Wars, okay? If he wants a Star Wars, the only other thing I can think of, if he pulls the whole, Earth 52, if he pulls up these different
Yeah, so different Earths,
different Earths, yeah.
which I'm not opposed to. I don't like that. I don't like it. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I think it might be more interesting if, since the Batman did so well,
Yeah.
make everything start living in the Batman continuity.
Universe, yeah.
Which probably means Gal Gadot's out, probably means Cavill's out, or just bring them in with those actors, but just build a grittier, more grounded world around them.
Yeah.
So it's a reboot, but we have the same actor in place.
Yeah. I just don't know.
Can
That
you
would be-
see? Can you see Superman in the world of Matt Reeves, the Batman?
I really can't. It just doesn't feel that his world seems like it's just Batman. I don't know why. I guess it could. I mean, is it the same world? Is the Batman the same world as the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, which they're supposed to make a musical? So how that's supposed to look like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because this is not.
don't know.
I mean, they spent a ton of money. I mean, you have Joaquin Phoenix; he's not cheap.
no.
So,
And gonna have Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. So we're already replacing Harley. So now we're replacing Harley Quinn.
yeah. But
I don't know.
that's the problem. Now, let's put it this way.
And Matt Reeves has a Joker.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's what I mean.
We've only seen him briefly, but Matt Reeves has a Joker.
Yeah. Yes, we do. So, if I had to make some predictions, okay, my prediction is that I really do think. I don't think the Black Adam is going to get a sequel.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. The whole idea of what's happening is to save money.
Yeah, if it's not profitable, they're not going to push it.
Yeah. I think I don't know after this Flash if that will continue or not, because the actor is really unbalanced who plays the Flash. I don't. The whole Michael Keaton thing. I think Michael Keaton might be just don't want anything to do with all the craziness. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, true.
Even though I would love Michael Keaton to continue to play in an older Bruce Wayne type of role.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the animation series of Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I have this strange feeling if they really want to get rid of the Zack Snyder universe, how do you not get rid of some of the? I mean, it almost sounds like they're letting these things play off. They're just kind of letting them. I mean, that could be what they're doing. Just let it. Okay, we spent this money. Let's just play it out. But my deal is that I think there's a good chance they could keep Cavill. if they're going to stay with that kind of not not a Zack Snyder universe, but some kind of universe where he can be in that. I just don't see him in a Matt Reeves universe. I don't know why. Just Matt Reeves seems so different to me. It's Matt Reeves seems like the real detective show, that the real Batman detective type of shows like in the comic books originally came out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I mean, what do you think? You think they could do you think and I don't want to say survive, that's a wrong word, but could they blend in a Matt Reeves universe?
Well, I think it would do a disservice to the Matt Reeves Batman universe if he doesn't get a trilogy.
Yeah.
It was just so good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, that being said, that gives and that becomes an issue for going forward,
Yeah.
because theoretically, we've got Aquaman coming out this year.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
In just a couple weeks. Is that right? I get confused on all the release dates. Yeah. Yeah. We've got Aquaman coming out in December, just a couple of weeks. Then we've got 3 more DC movies next year. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that go into production as quickly as you can on the Joker and on what else is floating? I mean, you've got Batman. I don't see them having the time to put together and get another The Batman movie out.
Yeah.
The Batman 2 out before 2024 is over.
Yeah.
But I think they could get a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie shot and out the door by the end of 2024.
Yeah.
And that could kind of wrap up everything. But you've got this Batman thing that's hanging out here. That is it ever going to see the light of day again?
Well, I mean, you have the Flash is still there. Yeah. I think that's the other thing. You have the Flash, or you have 500 Batmans. I mean, you got the Michael Keaton, you got Ben Affleck. Are they still going to have Ben Affleck doing the cameo that he was supposed to be doing in it? I mean, that's the thing.
Everything is so up in the air. I think it's hard to say for sure. I don't see the Flash moving forward. I think Warner Brothers is going to step away from that mess.
Yeah.
There's just too much unknown.
Yeah.
You can't afford a big tentpole actor going rogue on you like that.
Well, the thing is, they're looking at cleaning up everything. They're looking at saving money, and this right here, they see him as a loose cannon. I can understand that too. I mean, I really can.
Yeah, I think they'll cut him loose after the Flash movie comes out.
Yeah.
I think it's probably their best move. I liked him as a actor. I liked him as a character.
Yeah.
You just can't afford to have that kind of press going out.
No, you can't.
It risks too much money.
Yeah.
The loss of too much money. And but I still have and then James Gunn going forward, what does he do with the Suicide Squad stuff?
Yeah.
How does that survive in a new DC world?
Yeah.
I feel like the best bet is to dive into Matt Reeves' Batman and start creating a cohesive universe from there.
You think so?
Only because I don't see how Warner Brothers is going to say no to another Matt Reeves Batman movie.
Yeah.
It did so well. And it's so grounded that it's I mean, I know it's still a big blockbuster, expensive movie.
Yeah.
But Black Adam was $190 million production.
Mm-hmm.
Batman's probably not going to be that big a production.
Yeah.
Not that expensive.
Yeah.
100 million easy. We're not going to do a 200. I don't think we're going to do a $200 million Batman, Matt Reeves Batman.
I don't think so.
I think you can do a good Matt Reeves Batman for a lot less than that. And I think it's going to return your profits. And if that's returning your profits, why not dive into it
Yeah.
whole hog with your whole universe?
Yeah.
I mean, the other option is scrap it all and start over.
And I have a weird feeling that's probably where they want to go. But the problem with that means you have to let all these things play out to do that. And
how long are you going to let them play out?
yeah.
How long is James Gunn going to wait before he goes, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
We're going to start the new thing now.
Yeah. I mean, somehow
it's not going to be able to start next year. We know that.
Yeah.
But it's got to start within the next couple of years, or James Gunn is just sitting around twiddling his
Not
thumbs.
doing anything. Yeah. Well, I mean, folks out there that are listening and folks out there who are watching right now, unless things change between now and then, leave your comments below and let us know what you think. Email your comments. Let us know what you think about it.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Which I can probably tell you why, because we have no clue what we're talking about. But leave your comments. I'm really interested to see what you think is going to happen with the DC shakeup that's going on right now. I mean, we're just trying to make sense of all of it. Hopefully next week they will have a blueprint that they can announce to everyone what's going to happen. But you know what? Another question I have is that, let's say that, for instance, James Gunn, and Safran, they say, okay, next week, here's our blueprint. This is what's going to happen. Does that jeopardize the other movies where people are going, well, if this is not going to be part of canon, or if this is going to be this, or this is going to be that, do I really want to invest myself in that?
Yes, that's a big question mark.
Yeah.
See, I think the Matt Reeves Batman could stand up on its own.
I do too. I think
the Matt, even though I'm not a huge fan personally, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker could handle it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it. It's fine movie. It's just not quite my style.
Yeah.
But I think it could stand up, as its own thing.
I agree with that.
Outside the universe, and I think it would be fine.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
But yeah, I'm like if Blue Beetle did amazing, but and if it does amazing, you'll want to do a second one. But if they go, yeah, you can do a second one, but it has to all fit into this new continuity, and it's not the style that you were going for.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you stick around? I don't know that I would.
Because if he's talking about being similar to Star Wars, not Marvel, but to have a Star Wars type of universe, you can't really play into different Earths, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got one universe.
Yeah.
You've got one universe to play in. It's a big universe, so a lot of things can happen that don't have to be related.
Yeah.
But it's still one cohesive universe.
If that's exactly what he wants to do, if that is true, yes. Now, he could do a multiverse, which is fine, but that is, again, that's a different animal as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and if you honestly, at this point, if you do a multiverse, everybody will think you're trying to be Marvel.
Exactly.
Which is what he said he didn't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. I think Gunn, I think Gunn has a big job ahead of him
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he, like he said, he's not going to make everybody happy. There, he's
No.
not. I mean, I'd be really sad if Cavell ends up not being Superman. I think he's a great Superman, but will his style of Superman fit with the future? I don't know. And that's a good example too, because they do represent some type of style, some kind of,
Yeah.
it's almost like the original, it was before the Zack Snyder 4 hour cut. The 4 hour cut was darker.
Yes.
Had a darker look to it, and then the one previously that was a theater was more of a color, more almost, I don't want to say lighter, but it almost felt different in a way.
Yeah.
So
Let's be honest, it felt more marvelly.
yes, it did.
But
Yes,
for good or for worse,
for
it
worse,
felt more marvelly.
Exactly. And we all know DC is wanting, I guess, going darker.
I
and
yes.
And, will Gunn, say no to Peacemaker? Oh my goodness. I mean, there's
How
stuff.
does? Oh, well, so that's another thing. It's like, just like if you wanted to lean into a Matt Reeves Batman universe, can
You can't have,
even
you can't
even
have,
be part of that?
yeah, you can't have campy stuff because the
No.
Matt Reeves universe is serious.
Yes.
There's no room, but if there's any humor, it's dark and it's very slight. It's
Yes.
just
It's super subtle.
super subtle. So I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see, what's going to happen next week. More so, as far as creativity and the direction it's going. Yeah, but this is a big deal when you want to create a universe where everything resides in that universe, whether it's being connected or whether it's somehow crosses over to one another. That's a big job.
I think they should just go back to Batman the Animated Series and go, what was good about this? And go, that's the universe we need to create live action.
I agree with that.
That could be awesome.
I think that would be awesome.
Nobody will ever do it.
No, they won't. No, they won't. It's not, yeah. Maybe it's not gritty enough. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it would be a great idea.
I think it's a great idea, but what do we know? And on that note,
nothing.
And on that note, I think it's time to end the show, folks. So again, you can find us on speakingnerdy.com. On there, we have a little button that says listen that takes us to our podcast list. We also have watch that will take you to our YouTube channel where you can watch the podcast as well. We're on all your favorite podcast audio apps out there. So we're there. I mean, we basically like the plague. We are everywhere. So there you go. And probably that's the wrong chose. A virus? That's not good either. But anyhow, we're there, my friends.
Oh my gosh, you're going to get us banned from
sorry about
media.
the social media.
You can follow us on all the socials. Most of them, we are at Speaking Nerdy. So follow us there.
Yeah.
Join our Facebook group.
Join
the conversation.
Yes.
Anything else?
That's it. That was an awkward pause. Yes. Yeah, that's nothing. I have nothing else, folks. Nothing else. That's it.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Pope.
You did have something else. You tried to say it right before I hit video.
Did I really? I don't know. It's forgotten. It's really, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to talk more about the poop app.
Oh my gosh. I think we should just get James Gunn to come over here and plan our show.
That would be interesting.